Hello and welcome back to our news bulletin, coming to you live from Warsaw. I'm Sadia Stremska. Polish Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz has announced plans to build 3 new ammunition factories under the Polish Armaments Group. During a visit to the group's headquarters in Warsaw, the minister emphasized that national security depends on domestic production.
Poland is currently producing 250 million rounds of ammunition annually. That's 5 times more than a few months ago. The capabilities we've developed, particularly at the Moscow factory in Kosiniak-Kamysz, are truly impressive. We are now producing 1 million rounds in a single working day. We have found a formula to expand our production capacity. I want to express my gratitude to everyone who contributes in any way to ensuring Poland's sovereignty in ammunition production. This is not just about assembling ammunition in Poland. It's about manufacturing every single component, fuses, primers, and all the elements that make up a round. These must be produced here, on Polish soil. We cannot afford to depend on anyone. Poland must be sovereign and fully equipped with the capabilities to produce what it needs. That is our ambition, and we will achieve it.
Following Lithuania and Finland's withdrawal from the Ottawa Convention, both countries are planning to begin manufacturing anti-personnel mines in anticipation of future military threats. Due to the looming threat posed by Russia, Lithuania and Finland aim to start producing anti-personnel landmines next year to supply both their own arsenals and Ukraine. Anti-personnel mines notoriously wound civilians as well as combatants, often lingering on battlefields long after the conflict winds down. Officials say that production will be launched after the end of the 6-month withdrawal period. Other NATO countries, including Poland, Latvia and Estonia, are also taking steps to pull out from the treaty. This decision has been criticized by anti-mine campaigners who believe that relaunching production will take a long time and carry huge additional costs. Poland is facing severe rainfall, prompting crisis management meetings at the highest level. Both the Polish President and Prime Minister have taken part in emergency discussions to coordinate the response to the deteriorating weather conditions.
Polish cities are already preparing for possible flooding, with sandbags securing the perimeters of many inundation areas. Multiple crisis management teams across the country have already held and are to hold more meetings to prepare for the fallout of the rain. Firefighter brigades have started their preparations as well. Heavy rainfall is expected to continue affecting the country throughout the week. It comes just after a period of heavy storms that ravaged the Subcarpathian region in southeastern Poland. Moreover, in September of last year, the southwestern regions of the country suffered major flooding, raising the overall flooding awareness levels across Poland.
And we continue on the same topic. In response to growing flood threats, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has stressed the need for swift action to prevent potential tragedies. The government has activated the crisis management team, placing emergency services, police and military units on high alert.
At this moment, we are awaiting precise information regarding possible developments. As usual, we will begin with the weather forecast. We understand that the most important thing is to take proactive measures to prevent potential tragedies. I thank our services and military for such an early and effective mobilization. I know that in many areas, such redeployments have taken place. I can count on the presence of the fire brigade, police officers and the military in locations where we have well-founded, hopefully not entirely confirmed but justified, concerns that our assistance might be needed immediately. I kindly ask for full mobilization, even if this night did not bring dramatic events. But as we know, the weather situation is unstable and we must be prepared for every scenario.
Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis announced today that the country will no longer process asylum applications of individuals arriving from North Africa. The decision comes amid a rise in sea arrivals from Libya. Earlier this year, Poland also suspended the right to seek asylum for migrants crossing its border from Belarus.
You know the number of illegal migrants who have arrived in Crete in recent weeks. You understand that this emergency situation, indeed, they are illegal, requires emergency response measures. Consequently, the Greek government has decided to inform the European Commission that, with legislation that will be submitted to the Parliament tomorrow, Greece will suspend the consideration of asylum applications, initially for 3 months, for those arriving in Greece from North Africa by sea. Therefore, any migrants entering the country illegally will be arrested and detained.
For the first time, an international court has recognized that Russia is responsible for shooting down Malaysia Airlines MH17 over the Donbas in July of 2014. All 283 passengers and 15 crew members were killed. The European Court of Human Rights ruled on Wednesday that human rights were violated when the Boeing passenger jet was brought down. The court also ruled that Russia committed human rights violations in Ukraine during the conflict in Donbas and in its full-scale invasion in 2022. It also concluded that it recognizes that the events which took place after 2014 in the separatist-controlled territories fall under Russian jurisdiction. Margarita Sokorenko, a Ukrainian attorney at the European Court of Human Rights, said the ruling will provide the foundations for a special tribunal for the crimes committed during Russia's aggression. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is in Rome for key meetings with Pope Leo XIV, U.S. Special Envoy for Ukraine Keith Kellogg, and Italian President Sergio Mattarella. Zelensky's visit, which began on Wednesday, marks his second meeting with Pope Leo XIV since their initial audience in May. In addition to the papal meeting, the president is set to engage with key officials, including U.S. Special Envoy Keith Kellogg. The trip also comes on the eve of the two-day Ukraine Recovery Conference, set to begin in Rome on July 10th. The event, co-hosted by Ukraine and Italy, will bring together political and business leaders to discuss and promote Ukraine's recovery and reconstruction efforts amid Russia's ongoing invasion. The headquarters of the French far-right political party, the National Rally, were raided by police and judges on Wednesday. The party's leader, Jordan Bardella, who reported on the raid, said the French authorities seized various documents and electronic correspondence. Bardella called the major operation part of a harassment campaign that he believes was launched by the European Parliament. He also took to social media, saying that he was not informed of the basis of the search and called it an attack on pluralism and democratic change. The operation comes following Brussels' launch of a formal investigation into alleged misuse of funds by Identity and Democracy and now defunct far-right European Parliament group. Prior to the group's disbandment last year, it included France's National Rally.
We're witnessing a true democratic scandal, unprecedented under the Fifth Republic. Under the pretext of verifying loans allegedly made by our members, the police came today and seized all our data, including financial records, emails, and private notes from our leadership. That means France's leading political party no longer holds any secrets from the government. Our lists of candidates, our platforms, our campaign strategies, all of which are now known to those in power.
Elon Musk's Grok AI chatbot has stirred controversy after it wrote a long series of obscenity-laden rants at politicians in Poland and Turkey. The outburst came after X announced that the chatbot's algorithm had been updated to use more direct language. The company said the update encouraged the bot to, quote, reject mainstream opinions and biases. In response to user-made prompts, Grok launched into a long tirade targeting Polish political figures with insulting remarks. This included Prime Minister Donald Tusk, along with Warsaw Mayor Rafał Trzaskowski and Law and Justice Party leader Jarosław Kaczyński. Grok also verbally attacked Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, among others, prompting a Turkish court on Wednesday to partially block access to the bot. Following complaints, Grok tweeted that it was, quote, actively working on removing posts. And with this, we conclude our news update. Thank you for watching. The Bottom Line coming up next.